o'clock. Could you please stand and join us for the flag salute? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let's see. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of Monday, November 10th, 2025 as written?
I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We didn't have any miscellaneous motions today, huh?
Nope.
All right.
Oh, well, hold on. That's later. Yeah, that's later. Okay.
Okay.
You're good.
All right, Road and Bridge Superintendent Ryan Durst, Department update. Good morning, Ryan.
Quick.
Yeah, boom, like that.
Hey, guys.
Good.
Great.
How's your day?
Going all right so far.
Good, good.
Yeah. No call outs this weekend. Couple motions here. One would be CB2 for Gabe Metcalf, new hire, mechanics position, and this would be looking to bring him in at a step 4. So he has a Class A CDL and he has some equipment experience. Typically that would get somebody at a step 3 where I bring him in at. This is what it's going to take to get him in. So I think one thing I'd like to do is this, and then after the 6-month probation period, he wouldn't get that step, the April step that he would get after the 6-month probation period. So he's basically he's going to get that on the front side.
Starting him a bit higher.
Yeah, I mean it's 34, 35 cents higher than where he would have been, but yeah, that's the reason on that step 4, bring him in there. But he wouldn't be getting that step after 6 months.
And that fills
That April step.
that fills your mechanics position.
Fills one of them.
You've got 2, right?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. So.
Okay. I'd make a motion to review and approve the CP2 payroll notice for Gabriel Metcalf, mechanic, highway, new hire, wage classification 35-4, with a wage of $22.07, effective 11/24/2025. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
McCurry seconded. Further discussion, guys? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you. And then the other motion I have, last week we come in and talked a little bit about the change order number 5. I shouldn't have rushed it through. I was just trying to get a verbal on just moving forward, and so we could keep some work going last week. We did make a motion on that change order 5. We shouldn't have. I know Saban will be here in a little bit to discuss some of that, but he's got the updated number 5, and I didn't have the change order, the official change order yet last week when we made that motion.
Okay.
And so I really need to rescind the motion that we made. The new change order, it reflects the mobilization stuff that I had talked about, and then I know Cook Flat was working on the issues they had with some of their surveying software. So Saban will go over that with you, and then we'll go over that with you guys. But
Is there going to be a change in money?
yes.
There is. We're going to pay more?
No. Well, I mean, it'll be just what we talked about last week, but I mean, so with that change order, I mean, the amounts it's all line items and quantities, so we can't just subtract 10, whatever Cook Flat's doing for that side. So, I mean, it's how it had to operate.
But somebody's not going to bump something that we approved last week on there.
Just correcting the wording, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I say, I didn't have the official change order, and
Yeah.
I got the verbal from you guys on what we were working on and pursuing. The fine details weren't figured out on how we were going to get to that. So that's what I shouldn't have jumped the gun, basically.
Well, I'm just saying that Saban's not gonna come in and bump on the computer side of it. I'm fine with all that.
Okay, so we just rescind this and then we're gonna do a new motion?
Yeah, he'll
later
have,
on?
he'll have the new change order 5, and I think.
With the numbers and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you wanna go ahead and do this?
Please.
Rescind it at the moment. So I'd ask for a motion to rescind the motion made November 10th, 2025, approving a change order for $38,117.26, based on new information regarding the final costs adjustments. Barker moved for the board to approve and for the chairman to sign change order number 5 regarding construction related to the CDBG Airport Access Road Phase 2 for a total of $38,117.26, and McCurry seconded, and the motion passed. Also moved.
I'll second.
Thompson has moved, McCurry has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That was the motions I had.
Did the work get done on the north end there?
They got started on it.
They got started,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they got started on it. So, it didn't get finished last
Right.
week. I know they got some more rock to haul in up there that
Right.
got in, but, yeah, they'll continue to work on that, and, the weather's gonna hold out for a couple days for us, and
Yeah.
get a little wet, but,
Hopefully not too bad.
yeah. So that's all I had.
Okay.
Well, that's short and sweet.
Yeah. So, all right, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Step out for a second. I think it's gonna be good. We should have a contractor going into phase 2. I'm not sure what that is.
Wait, this is, Maria Cuevas is questioning me on the invoice if it's been paid, which it has not. But I want you to look and see what we would need to do with that.
Got it. Like over here.
Yep.
We could get Jenny to move along. Jenny,
Oh,
I mean, we've got,
yeah, we've got some time yet.
I'm just helping you figure out when.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Okay. There we go.
Right, we can always get tied to that fee probably too.
Took me a while to
Okay.
figure it out. I mean, I did this like over a year ago. If you go up there. Of course, you do it on this one here. Okay. You get the option of and then I go down and it gives you different paper size options. I don't know why it's like so much you get the letter and then you cut it out and fix up the font. This thing here where we got multiple pages. I haven't figured out how to do it. Cause it's, look at your screens here. Yeah, there's some
Longevity.
weeks, I like having a printout, and others that
This
really
one
have
here.
it.
There is-
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't print real clear.
I just saw that on Zoom.
Okay.
Oh, is that what that was setting on there where you can make it higher? I have to put so against it.
I think so, yes.
So I couldn't figure out why some of them are so small like that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think that's right.
Those are longevity checks. Oh.
I think.
She'll be coming.
Okay, thank you.
They've been here for 2 months.
Yeah, because those are supposed to be 30 bucks.
Take one.
Well, if he's ready to come in, I don't know. I'll ask him.
Good morning, David.
Are we ahead of schedule or was that?
Ahead of schedule.
We are.
Okay, good, good. Actually, I was here, mine was brief. I wanted to, I know that, Ryan had come to you guys, with a verbal approval for the, change order, that the contractor had reduced the mobilization cost, and, they're working right now, we have an inspector out there. The only reason I wanted to come as well is after I talked with, my firm, due to that, survey software issue that resulted in some of the issues at the grade, at 20th Road, our firm, we will take care of 50% of the fill cost of that category item in the change order, which accounts to about $9,900. So we kind of feel like that's the right thing to do. Just for the purpose of handling the paperwork, it made sense that we just because we have a contract with you and they have a contract with you, we would pay the county that amount to go towards that change order, but we would take care of 50% of the cost of the fill work.
And that's in addition to what we talked about the other day.
Yes. Mhm. Yeah, so there's a reduction of $7,500 from the contractor, and then we'll reduce, the ultimate number will be reduced by another $9,900.
Okay. That's not what we talked about the other day.
I'm not,
Well, the 7,500 part we did.
yeah. The mobilization was,
The mobilization was
that's where the contract was cut by in half.
But there was an additional 10, correct? Am I wrong?
Well, the total we just.
That's what I was presenting, that's what I was looking for.
That's what Ryan presented.
Absorbable, so this is the 50%, the 9,900 that he's talking about.
Okay, so it's the same thing?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, it wasn't you, it was Ryan that talked to us
Right.
about it.
He
Okay.
and I discussed, I thought it would be somewhere around 10,000, and we looked at the 50% as a cleaner way to do it.
It's 9,900.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Are we gonna have any problem with that road doing the fill on it?
I don't believe we are. I was talking to our inspector out there this morning, working with him, and he said everything's going well so far. He thinks it's gonna check in just fine, and they're working hard to get that material back in there so they can get that base asphalt in before Thanksgiving. So I would say believe that, again, whether even with some of the spotty rain we might get, they believe they can get that done.
Yeah, the inspector was out there when I came by earlier
Yeah.
this morning.
Yeah, he and I chatted on the phone on my drive down, so. Anyway, that's what I wanted to bring to you today, and let you know,
Okay. Okay.
that the work is proceeding, and, we'll be a participant in that change order.
Okay, so, yeah, do we have a new change
Do you
order
need a
then?
new motion or not yet?
Yeah, for change order 5, we would need one.
Okay.
I did not print it out, we do have one, I can get it back up here to you, or maybe we can get it.
Okay, we just rescinded the other one, I don't know if we need to.
Yeah, the contractor provided a new one that had taken the mobilization from 15 to 7,500, and as I said, the 9,900 is not on that because that's their change order, their contract with the
Okay.
county.
So that-
We're doing ours as
As a check.
a direct check back to the county.
Okay,
back to the
all right,
county.
I understand.
Yes, so you'll see a change order amount that's a little higher than the 9,900, and we're
That's the
gonna,
copy of the one they have.
yeah, okay.
Is that the number?
The 48,000, so that is the change order we need to approve today.
Correct.
Okay. Okay.
For a total of 48,711.30 or 26, right?
That sounds 17 or something. Is this
What is it?
what I'm looking at says $48,717.
Oh, okay, you're right, I'm sorry, my glasses. Sorry.
Okay,
Well, the resolution's not very good on here.
I know, it's not, thank you for catching that. So it's 17?
That's a scan of a scan of a scan from the contractor, so.
48,717.20, is that correct?
717, is that 20 or 20?
26.
26, okay.
glasses.
Where
It
we-
is. I
20.
can see.
26.
Near as I can tell, it's 26.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I do, but it went up $600. We're talking 9,900.
They're gonna give us.
They're gonna
That's a
Yes.
direct check. That change order does not have that.
Okay, so why is this one
Where's the
changed
$7,500?
$600? Why did the
The
600?
mobilization should have gone from 15,000 down to 7,500.
Which is reflected in there.
It is, okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, as long as it heads up, not
But the-
by driving me.
The difference between this new change order and the motion we just rescinded is $10,600.
Should be 10,000.
That's my question here is we're at 117 and this is 717.
Unless we typed it wrong last week, maybe.
Well, we rescinded, $38,117. That might have been a typo, maybe
It
was
might have
supposed,
been a typo.
maybe it was supposed to be 717 instead of 117.
It was probably my eyes last week too.
Well, that's all I'm,
God, I'm sorry.
not being difficult, I just want this fixed while we're at it. you know?
Yeah.
Well, I just didn't math it, I was just trying to figure out what.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but you see why I was
Yeah.
concerned, I'm like, where's the 600 fit into this at, you know?
Exactly.
I think it was my typo, I apologize.
Okay,
All right.
all right, so, I'll ask for a motion from the board to approve and for the chairman to sign change order number 5 regarding construction related to the CDBG Airport Access Road Phase 2 for a total of $48,717.26.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion?
Should you put it in there just as an extra that you will be receiving a $9,900 check from CFS Engineers? Just so we could always refer, so the auditors, if anything's looked at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be good.
If you can figure a way to add that in there, I don't know if it's really related to this change order, but
Well, I mean, it is in a way.
yeah, I just make, if you want to make a separate motion or add it to this change order. Pardon?
Just so we have a trail on it.
Yeah, yeah. I just didn't know if we wanted to tag it on here or make a separate motion. That's the only reason I was asking. Okay, so I'll read the last part of that again.
Now, hold on, I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
You called it 50%.
50% of the line item, which is the earthwork and fill. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was line item number 5 or 6 on that.
Okay.
It's a reimbursement check from CFS Engineers in the amount of $9,900 for 50% of the earthwork and fill for a
survey software issue that occurred during design.
Okay, I think,
Okay.
go ahead now.
Well, I'll just read it again.
Yeah.
McCurry moved for the board to approve and for the chairman to sign change order number 5 regarding construction related to the CDBG Airport Access Road Phase 2 for a total of $48,717.26. The county will receive a reimbursement check from CFS Engineers in the amount of $9,900 for 50% of the earthwork and fill for a survey software issue that occurred during design. And Peterson still second that?
Yeah, Steve. Motion still.
You still motion?
I second it.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'll still make that motion.
Okay, so any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
You bet, guys.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You bet. So we better remember 10 o'clock
Yeah.
here, don't we?
Jenny's here.
Okay. So Jenny, would you like to do your department update?
Sure.
We're kind of a little ahead of schedule here, so we're just trying to,
That's good. I got plenty of stuff to talk about. We may have to wait a little bit. One of the things I was gonna talk about was, the agreement I think I sent to Angie for raise grant administration. Garrett Nordstrom was gonna come in today, but I told him not till 10:20, so he may not be here for a little bit. But I
yeah.
can talk about everything else I had on my list.
Okay.
I did bring some presents today.
You did?
Yeah, so, Kansas Health Foundation has a new book they put out, and they were giving away copies for free. I have a copy I've been reading through.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah, it's Ed O'Malley wrote it. He's the same guy that wrote a lot of the Kansas Leadership Center books with all the printables, and it's a pretty easy read, but it's just kind of talking about public health in Kansas, how we've dropped over the last so many years from being in the top 10 to now being in the bottom, like number 30 or something. And so just thinking through ways that leadership in Kansas can kind of look at the problem and maybe work together to solve, and kind of move us up on the public health. So it's a good little read, and I figured it couldn't hurt for as many people to have copies, especially since they're trying to get them out for, we didn't have to pay for them.
Okay. Great.
So, along those lines, I did want to mention I will be out of this office probably late Wednesday through Thursday, because Stacy invited me to that Rural Health Symposium in Hayes to sit on the panel for Coffee County. I think it'll be a good opportunity. So it's the Kansas Hospital Association, and they're talking about how we kind of partner in Coffee County for health. So I'm going to go to that, but I'll still be available by phone if you guys can. Let's see. Let me have my list of stuff. Just a couple other updates. Sorry, I put everything on my Google Notes. I'm sure I had everything. Okay. I was gonna mention, Ryan had sent me something about in December, there's a Kansas Association of Counties conference. He had suggested I attend that. I wasn't planning on it, but there are some sessions on economic development, energy, water. So I wanted to ask you guys if you wanted me to register and attend that conference. I haven't been to it before. I don't know if you guys have.
It's a good conference.
It is a good conference.
So some of you guys are going?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you wanted me to go or if you guys just want to bring back information. It's kind of up to you.
There's quite a few different conferences, but at the same time, you get to pick and choose from.
I was
I would
mostly interested in the sessions on like data centers and water, some of those kind of ones that we've been looking at, but I'm just not really so familiar with some of the.
I would suggest that you go, because you may pick something else up from it. I mean, it's with these things.
If you're available and
Yeah,
comfortable
yeah.
about
Yeah.
going.
Because it is a long, it's quite a commitment for that many days, so.
Yeah, I should be able to free it up. There was one meeting that Wednesday evening, which I was going to update you on childcare, but I think they can do it without me. I just have been organizing it. So, but I should be able to. I'll let you guys know kind of what that looks like. But I appreciate it. Still trying to learn a lot, so as I can go to things and absorb information and bring it back, it's helpful.
I think it'd be a good investment for our part of it.
Yeah, I do
if
too.
you're able to go.
If you should be able to go. If you're
Yeah,
able to go,
I should be able to make that work. That's not a problem.
you'll get to meet a lot of people and
You can do a lot of good
Okay. Thank you. Kind of on that note, I was going to give you an update. I did meet with leadership from USD 243 and 244 to talk about childcare. We sat down for about an hour and just kind of talked about what really they were both talking about different things they're doing with their different centers and kind of an interest in some collaboration. So we set another meeting on December 10th in the evening. It's going to be at the Burlington admin office downtown. We're going to invite staff from Child Care Aware because they do a lot with coalition building, and they have a network of coalitions across the state. We're going to invite some home providers to that. So I've just kind of been helping them to organize and bring them together. My suggestion going forward is they do some planning and assessment together to kind of look at what the opportunities and gaps are in our county. So it's kind of nice they're meeting and they're talking. Also, recap, I did attend the Kansas Housing Conference. Was it last month? Seems like it hasn't been that long. It's been busy. But a couple things that did stick out to me from the conference I wanted to share with you all. So it was the Kansas Housing Resource Corporation that put on the whole conference. And one thing that they mentioned, and I heard in several different sessions, is the impact they think is going to be felt, the MIH grants, we went after with the housing developer up north. That has not been funded after this round, so they anticipate that maybe going away unless they can get it funded again. So they're kind of going to be doing a push into more housing tax credits for investors. They also have a revolving loan fund that they mentioned. So they have some other programs that they're going to be looking at with developers. And then on the developer side, with that shift in rising costs, kind of what I heard is the importance for developers in capital stacking. So really, what they're looking at to make housing development work is they need the use of tax credits. They kept stressing the importance of things like RHIDs, like that we talked about, to help with infrastructure costs, because they know most counties or cities now aren't just going to, put up that high cost for roads and sewer and utilities, but to make it more affordable for them, they need some of those incentives. Also looking at RLF or other low interest rate loans. I said was important. Hi.
Excuse me.
You're good.
You mean interrupt?
No, you're fine. So just recognizing that basically for development, those things are becoming very normal. So if we look at other developments, don't be surprised if things like RHIDs or tax incentives come up again. And then, so that was kind of my big takeaways from that, and just the importance of communities, especially small rural communities, all working together on housing across sectors is important. And I think the small communities that are seeing growth, that's what they're happy to do. Coming up with creative ways to get more housing. So, let's see. The only other thing I had besides the raise agreement, I did send something out to Angie, and I think you guys get it. Did you guys get a briefing paper?
Yes.
Okay. So Wade and I went down to a meeting last Monday in Emporia with, we were invited by Casey Woods. He's on the Emporia area RDA. There was a couple other members of Emporia RDA there. Colleen, the Osage County Economic Development Director, was there. And they wanted to discuss, as we're all kind of interested in looking at these energy projects, the TerraPower project is kind of top of mind right now as they're looking at that. They were suggesting for that, or just for other of these types of projects that come up, doing kind of a multi-county approach to development. They threw out things like call it the East Central Energy Corridor, basically leveraging what we have, especially with, Coffee County and Osage being on 35, with some of the resources that we have here, already having an established nuclear power plant here in the infrastructure we have. Osage, having commerce, they have kind of access to water there. Obviously, Lyon County has a lot of resources in housing and commercial. And then we didn't talk as much about Chase and Greenwood. I know Chase is still kind of on that 35 corridor. Greenwood, I think, has some other resources that could kind of pool. And so basically not saying that this group is going to decide where they would want to locate any specific, it's not saying that Coffee and Lyon or Osage can't all kind of go after a project like this at the same time, but just saying that as a region, we have resources that are favorable for these types of projects. And what Casey would like to do is if everybody's on board, we continue to work together over the next couple months to kind of come up with a strategic plan. If everybody's comfortable with that, then we can, send that to Commerce and say, hey, just as a region, look at all these resources we have. I think there's still a lot that would need to be fleshed out, but I would be interested to continue the conversation, because regardless, if, say, an energy project were to come here or to Osage or to Lyon, it would still have more of an impact for us here economically than if it went to, like, Western Kansas. So regardless, I would like to see something like that. That's what we're interested in. Come to our area. And I know specifically we're interested in locating something like that in Coffee County. So I just wanted to get your guys' feedback and see if that's something you're interested in continuing to pursue or what your thoughts are.
I think it's good that that the counties are having that dialogue. I don't think it hurts anything at all. I mean, I would be in favor of you continuing with that. As long as we all play together well, I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I don't know what that agreement, there would be some type of an agreement, what that's going to entail.
Right.
I mean, I guess probably the bottom line is it's up to the power companies and those people to choose where they want to put their project.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Right.
I don't want us to make a commitment to other counties that
No,
diminishes
I
our.
Right.
I would like to be a part of it up until the point where we're not followers, we're leaders in it.
Yes.
And
Right.
pushing for Coffee County, because we've got the assets here, we've got the know-how.
We've already
The
got,
county's been through it before.
yeah, we've already got the infrastructure. As far as the dialogue, I don't have an issue with
Dialogue,
the
yes, but
Right.
dialogue, but it's,
Yeah, and I think that's important. I agree. And I think, to me, the intent of this is not, like you said, not saying that, well, we're gonna say that we want a project like that to go to Lyon County because they're bigger or anything. But I think it could help us work if, let's say, regionally, like I know we may need to update like water infrastructure or something like that. There's some of those federal grants that you do really have to come at them as a regional approach.
Okay.
To be more competitive. So I think it could be looking at some things like that, that may strengthen all of our counties, to be able to be competitive.
It could be beneficial to all of us and those other counties, like with housing and manpower and stuff. It could be, could help this project. So I agree. I just.
Right.
You
I
guys
like the thought.
remember back when Wolf Creek was built?
I do.
It
I was in it.
benefited everybody
Yeah.
in the 5-6 counties. It's not like Emporia was left out or Hamilton was left out. They all benefited from it. And then
Right.
people just got to remember that because this area's been through it before.
Yes, and I agree with that. And
Yeah.
I would never, sign an agreement or agree to anything without bringing it to you guys.
Right,
Right.
That's all
Right, and there's nothing we're signing today. We wanted to come back to all of our commissioners to make sure everybody was comfortable with us working together, before we keep meeting.
I think that's feasible, isn't it? Because it is could would benefit everybody, it could help everybody being joined to some extent.
Yeah, just, we want to be
Yes,
leaders.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I recognize that I do represent Coffee County first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
Okay, well, I'll keep you guys updated how those meetings go. Like I said, they were hoping maybe to have some kind of planning done by next spring, because we know some of these projects are gonna be moving forward in the next year.
Great.
And then Jenny, if there's anything that we can do on our own, instead of waiting on that RDA,
Yes,
let's get on to it. Have you reached out to the upper echelons of Evergy?
yes, so I sent out the resolution in the letter to my contact at Evergy, to their communications department. She copied me and she had sent it up the chain. I think, they're still kind of putting in place what they're gonna be doing with site selection. So she said, we'll, take that information and as we kind of build our team that's gonna be working with TerraPower, we'll keep you guys in the loop. So I'll keep following up with them. And then I also did send the resolution and the letter straight to TerraPower as well. I got the contact information for their CEO, so I sent it straight to him.
Excellent.
Haven't heard
That's
anything back, but
Great.
we'll keep
With
moving on that.
the tax revenue that could be generated by this, more and more counties are jumping into it and seeing the precedents that Coffee County has already set
Yeah,
with Wolf Creek when everybody was scared to do it back in the day.
right,
And I think it's all boiling down to, we can get a big kickback of funds here.
yeah. And I think you're gonna continue to see a need for, energy resources as we continue to build things like data centers or, AI centers, that take a lot of energy. So I don't think it's gonna be just a one and done. I think you're gonna, over the next 5 or 10 years, see
Yeah,
more of business
Regardless where those
projects.
facilities are built, there's gonna be power demand.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know, when we look around our county, all our population's getting older, and we need to do everything we can to try to bring jobs that'll try to get some young people to stay here, or our population's gonna continue to fall, is my opinion. And that's anything like this that we can
Definitely.
bring, that brings revenue and
And good paying
and
jobs.
And get paying jobs.
Yeah,
Yes.
very important.
we need that if we want to move forward rather than keep dwindling away.
I agree, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
As someone who has kids who I hope in the next 20 or 30 years they'll be sticking around.
I'd like my grandkids to stick around here and live
Yeah.
here, you know?
Right, that would
That's
be
what I'd like
great.
to see,
That's the dream.
yeah.
So that is all I had besides I had sent in the request for performance review. If we have time for that, or if you want to skip to something
Yeah,
else.
how long are you looking at? 'Cause
Uh,
we've gotta be done at 10 o'clock to canvass.
okay, it's up to you guys.
15 minutes long enough?
Hopefully. I know, I started in April, so it's been about 7 months, and I just kind of had, a request to get some feedback and kind of see where you guys think I'm at.
Okay, do we have time to take a 15-minute one?
I think so.
Let's set it at 10 if we need to.
About 13.
Yeah,
13,
I mean, literally, that's what I was thinking,
Okay.
because we've got to be back here to,
That's fine.
How are you, Tom?
If you guys need more time, we can always go back later. Yeah, I'll be around 13 minutes.
yeah.
Oh, wait, let's see.
I just popped in to say
I know, I do that all the time.
hi.
Good to see you, Tom.
I read about you guys in the paper, so it looks like everything's going well.
How you doing?
I do read the paper.
How are you doing?
I'm doing.
I know.
How about you?
Okay, doing well.
Down to Detroit.
Let's make that 12 minutes instead of 15.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
They got under Goff's head.
Motion to enter into executive session for 12 minutes to include each commissioner's, economic Development Director Jenny Tapman, County Councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss personnel matters, non-elected personnel related to job performance review under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B1.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So moved.
Avondron, yeah, that's moved.
That guy.
I'll second it.
Peterson, second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll enter in at 9:47, I guess. We don't want to run ourselves out of time here. The switch is back on, and it's 10 o'clock. Just now turned 10. So, no action taken in the previous executive session. So I guess we are ready to canvass the results of the 2025 city/school general election. So we're ready to go.
Yep.
Okay. I'd ask for a motion to convene as a board of canvassers to canvass the results of the November 4, 2025 city/school general election.
So moved.
Second. Been moved by Barker, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, so first of all, we will look at the provisional ballot sheets here. Do you want to go over those, Brad?
There's not too much to go over. You'll see that we only have a total of 13 provisionals. It kind of helps when we have a big presidential election in the year before, and we have 5 elections where everybody that was gonna vote at some point probably already had, and so they got updated. We had 7 voters that had moved within the county and haven't re-registered yet. 2 of those also changed their name, but we put them under move because that decides where they vote. And 1 that just was a registered voter that moved, or changed their name only. Then we had 4 that were not registered in Coffee County, all up in the Lebo area. 2 of them had moved there from Johnson County. 2 had moved from Lyon County and had told Lyon County they were gone and got canceled there, but they never got started up here, so those can't count. Because if you move within the county, it counts. If you move across the county line, it doesn't. Then we had 1 that voted up at Waverly that turned out to live in USD 244 school district up in the northeast corner. Thought he was supposed to vote and went and voted and didn't really was in position 2 for Burlington schools that didn't have an election this year. So that one was said wrong place or wrong precinct, but basically he just didn't have a ballot at all.
Okay.
So we got 8 that should count and 5 that shouldn't. I think she has a motion here somewhere for that effect.
You all
Yeah.
agree?
Do you have any questions about any of those? And you've got a list there of the
Sounds like
details on where they are and what happened, but it was pretty straightforward. Our
okay.
election workers did a fantastic job, like they always do, including a bunch of kids from all the schools around the county. We're lucky to have them all.
Great. I'd ask for a motion upon the recommendation of the county election officer to accept 8 provisional ballots, reject 5 provisional ballots, consistent with state statutes, and the provisional vote totals will be added to the appropriate races.
Move. I'll second.
Peterson has moved, McCurry has seconded. Further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
We'll go process that, and you can let me know if I need to give you any more information.
Thank you, Brandon.
Okay, so what I'm handing out now is a little balance sheet that I made years ago to help you guys, just so you can see that everything balances, or if it doesn't balance, why. So as we go through signing the poll book, we'll start with, thing real quick, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to use my computer. I'm so sorry. Real quick. Sorry about that. Thank you. Okay. We'll go with the second one first, advanced mail. We mailed out more than 48, but what we received back was 48, and we counted 48. You can see that on this report. This was ran out of our Elvis election voting system. You'll sign on the bottom there. Yeah, just sign it. So that matched perfectly for what we.
Was that 48 that came back by Tuesday, or do you think
Yes.
they have?
No, by Tuesday. They actually have until that Friday, but we didn't receive them.
So they do have till Friday.
But we didn't see any more that day. And then back up to the top one. Voting in the clerk's office, this was early voting. We had 171 that voted in the office, and we had 171 check-ins. So at the top that says express votes or paper, we had no one vote paper. And then voter history poll pads, 171 checked in there. So all of that has to match, and if you want to sign on the back, you should go with that. Let's see, 171 on the last page there. Yeah. Last one. We'll get back on track now. Our next one will be Kelly Hall. I want to go too fast for you.
Okay.
Kelly Hall, we had a total of, so we had 177 check-ins at Kelly Hall on the poll pad. But there were only 176 that voted on the machine. And what happened was a voter checked in, and they went and voted on the machine. They didn't actually cast their ballot, so it didn't count.
Oh.
It doesn't count until it actually is cast and reads in and goes into the hand.
So they just didn't follow through the
They didn't follow through, yeah.
Okay.
So in that, we have to take that one away from check-ins because that does not, they didn't actually get to cast a ballot. So.
Okay.
You'll see that on the poll pad. So this report that I'm printing out, is a table that you're seeing come around from each polling place. That is what I print out from the poll pads. There's so many parts to this, so I know it's kind of confusing, but this is from the poll pads. The reports you're looking at here, these come from the actual machine.
I see.
So all of that has to match up when I present to you, or I need to explain to you why it's not.
Okay.
So all these numbers come from the machine itself?
Yeah, so when you're looking at this balance sheet, and you're comparing it to who's checked in,
Right.
and so like your 48, that was from the advance you just saw.
Right.
The 171 is what voted in office.
Yep.
straight through.
Yeah, okay.
And then the 977 is gonna be all the polling places
The total.
outside, yeah. And so at the bottom of this, that's why I created this balance sheet, because I'm taking all the numbers from this, to show you
And that
how it
represents
adds up to that number.
Okay.
This is supposed to have a balance of 176, and it says 177.
Yeah, that's how many people checked in
Right.
at the polling pad. On the machine, that's 176, and so
All right, so this doesn't count, one of these people.
doesn't count, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you got it. And then we had the similar situation at Gridley. We had 78 that checked in, and then 77 that actually voted. They called us on that one and told us they knew who the voter was. They called him, he took his card home with him, and they said if you could bring it back, we can spoil it and you could re-vote, but he never showed up. So in that regard, they actually knew who the voter was. Oh, perfect, so. At Lebo, we had 282 that checked in and 282 that voted on the machine. That's perfect.
That was a good turnout.
Yeah, they did have, but they had a race over there too,
Yeah.
school board and council.
Question on this, and I couldn't call out to you about the write-ins on the one, city, council member, and because it was several different names on the one,
Correct.
did the guys go through all that, make sure it all worked out?
Yes, we went through those on election night because
Okay,
we
there could have
knew,
been quite a few different
Yeah.
spellings.
yeah.
Okay,
The main thing is, there's statutes that lay out voter intent,
right,
and then we also have to check and see if there's anyone else in the county that may have the same name or spelling or whatever. And so, yeah, even with or without a maiden name or whatever, that still would have won. So, and Mark was here that night as in his other role and was trying to get those two for the paper, so we tried to make sure.
well, when I saw where the names of these different, oh my gosh, this would have been nice there.
Yeah.
So do those count in, so long as you feel that's the vote of the team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if they might have misspelled or, like, a person's name could be known as their, maiden name or their married name or married and maiden. I mean, the voter's intent was
Okay.
specifically there.
Okay. Thank you.
The next one is Leroy, they matched also with 142 that signed in and 142 that voted. run also matched with 144 check-ins and 144 that actually voted on the machines, which will.
We have opened and counted the 8.
Okay.
You ready to close, can we close the vote?
Yes, I'll read it in.
Public count matches.
Yep.
So nicknames probably don't work.
Not if, I mean, I don't know like which one specifically you're referring to, but
But here, I mean,
no,
that was
no,
a nickname in school.
no. No, we wouldn't know what that is. It has to resemble somewhat what they're registered as, yeah.
Right, right.
And then lastly, Waverly with 156 check-ins and 156 voted. I thought that was a joke when I saw it.
now.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'll have you guys sign these. You already signed the advanced poll book. I didn't realize I was supposed to, but we run two poll books.
Somebody remembered.
Huh?
Somebody remembered.
Make sure we open the right ones. Land on it anyway. Land on it anyway. Yeah, I talked to Mike that morning.
How are you?
Good, how y'all?
Good.
All right, so then lastly, when you looked at the advanced poll book report before, I didn't have these with it, but if you guys would sign off on these are the poll workers that we bring in election night aboard to go through each, not ballot, but I mean the envelope and make sure that, the proper ones are counted. So they had 48, which is what we looked at earlier. There's 48. They open them and get them ready for us to read in the count. If you sign on the back there somewhere, that would be great.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it since we did it,
Okay.
but went pretty smooth.
And then in Leroy, they had a Lakeview drainage election, which are landowners around that area that are only allowed to vote on that. So this year was the year it was up for election of those board members again. So anyway, here's we did a hand count on those because there was not very many. And then this was the poll book, so you guys will sign off that you've seen those and poll book of all the four that signed in. Not much.
Which one do you want to sign?
Yeah.
If you'll sign them all,
Okay.
yeah. Just that you had seen those and. Brad, do you want to go over this? They don't need to sign any of this, I don't believe, unless they can sign the full book, but probably not the letters.
Yeah, probably the full
So if you would go over that with them, and then I'll get these final reports ready, and then
Okay.
they'll be done.
Ballot audit is, or post-election audit, as they call it sometimes, involves in this year, what we were required to do was we selected randomly 2 races to hand count and then randomly selected precincts to count them in. We ended up doing USD 243, position 6, counting for Rock Creek Township, and USD 244, position 1, which was to complete the unfulfilled term or unexpired term for the New Strong City precinct. And what we do is we bring in a board with Democrats and Republicans on it, and
training them what they're gonna be doing and how to do it, put them under oath. We go through and get all the, do they have copies of this or not?
I know.
Okay. And we go through can by can, you know, off the voting machines. And so like this one, Waverly, we get count machine number 1 from Waverly. We get in there and we find all the ones from Rock Creek Township, and then we hand count those. And then we put those, wrap them in green paper and put them back in the box, and we do box after box. And we do our advanced voting in the office, early voting here. We have to go through that box and find all the same way there and do that. And we didn't have any advanced mail in either of those races, so, but otherwise we would have to count those paper ballots also. And then they compare those back to our election night. You're testing the machine count on election night against those cards that we put in the machine when you're voting. And I'll tell people that we're voting a paper ballot in Coffee County every vote. If you do it on the old-fashioned one, you writing on it. If not, then the machine does the writing for you, but you're casting the vote. You can return that card, look at it, make sure it's got your vote on it, put it in. So it's a good thing. And then this is a good thing to check that it went the way it was supposed to. And they went through and hand counted. 2 of my 3 experienced judges got sick the night before, so we had a little more training than usual. But we had people that have worked elections before on various parts for many years. So, and then the counts, we compare our unofficial results on election night with the audit results, and then we send that off to Topeka, and they look through all our paperwork and tell us if we did it right, and they told us we did it right, we could count it. If you want to sign off on these, you want to send the whole thing around, and you can sign off on the tally sheets.
Tally sheets, just so they can see.
We've never had any discrepancy between the machines and the cards, which makes sense because the machine prints the cards and counts them and scans them. The only time we've ever had any issue was on a mail ballot that somebody didn't mark properly and the tabulation machine didn't pick up on it. So, and that was not the case here, but that's the only time we've had it not match. But this one was pretty small turnout and pretty clean races, but they're looking for write-ins, and one of these races did have write-ins, even though there were candidates on the ballot running against each other, somebody wrote somebody in there. Still anyways. This is just my note copy here.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about that process, I can address those. This is something that's kind of new since I started here, so I didn't have anything to pick up from Jackie, and we kind of ran around and hit our heads on things the first couple of years.
Yeah, they'll sign
Oh,
all
yeah.
this.
And then since then, we kind of got it down to a good system here where we can set them up and knock them down, and if they stop every so far along the way, every time they make a hash mark, they stop and make sure they match.
Yeah.
First year, Denise and I were working on it in 2020, and so we're up to like 900 and something ballots, so 932, 933, and somebody interrupted us. One. So we learned the hard way, you stop along the way and make sure you're matching up. And, but the machines have, like I said, I've tried to demonstrate that probably to some of you here. When you come in and vote, you can hit that, before you hit cast votes, you hit return card, and you can pull that out and see your vote on there and make sure that it got it right before you put it in. And that pretty much assures that this is gonna match.
I like it's a pretty accurate system.
There are places in the country that don't have the paper ballot. You're just punching the machine and trusting it to record it, without you being able to see whether it did or not. And I can't imagine that that's a thing. It should not be. So I think even when they're calling for us to vote paper ballot, it doesn't have to be pen and pencil. But that's
people besides us.
I've just given you the updated balance sheet with those 8 provisionals added, and I have the official results for you to sign off.
We need
You
this,
can do
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, I can. Thank you. So I'm gonna give you 4 reports. One is an election summary with write-ins, one is just an election summary, one's a precinct summary, and one's a precinct summary with write-ins. So if you will. You will sign off on those, and those will
On the
be,
back, the front.
the front's fine, and these.
What are we taking those from Lyon County?
So, we have school district, 252, we go, it comes into Coffee County a little bit.
Okay.
And so, voters that live in Coffee County live actually in that school district. We have the same thing with 365,
It comes into this, into the county.
and then our schools go into Osage, 243 goes up into Osage a little,
This trust.
and 245 goes to, yeah, so the districts cross county lines,
Right.
and it can kind of be a little extra
Yeah, so
headache.
Get the voters from out of county.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
one of those is one board members in.
Yeah. If they live in a county, they should go to school in that county. I'm not
The
suggesting.
district doesn't pay that. does it?
Yeah.
I didn't know if everything's going there or not.
You can go ahead and certify if you're good with everything and adjourn if you can.
Okay. I'd ask for a motion to certify the results of the canvas board.
Second.
Moved by Peterson, seconded by Avendroth. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'd ask for a motion to adjourn the canvas board at 10:39 a.m. and the board reconvened as Board of County Commissioners.
Move.
Second.
Moved by Peterson, seconded by Barker. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Make a motion to take a 10-minute break.
Second.
Then moved by Avendroth and seconded by Barker. Take a 10-minute break. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carried. We'll be back at 10:49. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. So,
We have another,
Are you coming up?
yeah, to talk about the rate agreement.
so is that what we want to do now?
Yeah.
So,
Shouldn't take too long.
what do I need to say?
Just,
Economic development.
Economic Development Director Jenny Tapman, concerning the RAISE grant agreement.
Yes. So, with the RAISE grant, we're still kind of ongoing with that, and I reprinted out the kind of summary of what that is, because I know we haven't talked about it for a couple months. So that's just, again,
Thank you.
summary of what the RAISE grant is. That's the one for the countywide trails design. So it's the roughly 2.6 million with the Federal Highway Administration. Just an update, we did submit a draft of a grant agreement to our project officer. She kind of gave a thumbs up on it and she moved it up the chain. So we're waiting from FHWA to get the agreement signed by them, so then I can present it to you guys to sign it and be able to move forward. Hopefully that'll happen soon. You know, with federal things, sometimes it moves at the speed of snail, but we do have something we feel was a good version of the agreement on our end.
Jenny, with all of that said,
Mhm.
we're not gonna be backed up against a deadline on any of this, are we?
So,
Moving it, or-
what we did, because it's taken so long to get this
Right.
agreement through, originally we were looking at a deadline of the end of 2026 for the grant. Working with Garrett, in our grant agreement that we sent to them, we extended the grant deadline for expending funds to, I think it's December 31st, 2027. So that would still give us plenty of time to work with an engineer. I think we may have to go back to the communities and make sure it's still what we want with our trails plan, because we want to design something that eventually we would like to be able to implement or go after funding to build some of these trails. So it's going to be a process.
Okay.
So we wanted to make sure on the front end that we had plenty of time. Yes. So we've got that in. Then, as I was starting to work with Catherine from Federal Highway Administration, I met with Angie. We were looking at grant administration, and there's some moving parts where we needed to get into their invoicing system. We didn't have permission, and we just don't really have something set up for this large grant like this. So I talked to Garrett. They do grant administration for these kind of grants quite frequently. He put together a proposal that you guys have for if we wanted to bring on a GAS to do the grant administration, pending if we get the grant agreement signed. So we're still waiting for that, but once we get it signed on their end and then on our end, Garrett can kind of talk through what the proposal details. I think you guys got a copy of that from Angie, in your board packets.
I forwarded it to you all.
Yes.
Yeah, the agreement for professional services.
Right.
So basically what we'd be looking at is, Garrett can explain it, but he was thinking for this, it usually takes him about 10 hours a month for grant administration, making sure we get all the reporting done, invoices sent for reimbursement, just to make sure that we're doing what we need to do so we don't get in trouble from the FHWA.
Have we already received funds, grant for this project? I mean, early on? Am I thinking?
So this project, the Trails project kind of started back in 2022. We
Right.
came up with a countywide trails plan. I think we paid engineering
Okay,
for that
okay,
from county funds, and then we used the trails plan to submit the grant application for trails design.
is that what, and we've gotten that, correct?
Yes, so we were awarded the grant for the 2.6 million, what is it? I have it here. The, 2,645,000.
Oh, okay,
So that is what we're waiting, it was never executed. So we were notified that we were awarded the grant, but then there was a contract we had to sign.
okay.
And that's what we finally have gotten to Federal Highway Administration.
But the 2.64, whatever, is
Yeah.
still available, is that?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we've talked to them, we had a kickoff meeting.
Okay,
The funds are still available, we just have to have them sign it on their end, then we'll have to sign it, then we can move forward.
I know it's been going on for a few
Yes.
years.
It's been long, between, I think, some turnover, and then federally, some things got paused. But,
Shutdowns never help, do they? No, I'm kidding.
yeah, none of that has helped. But I've been told that the award is still there. So once we can get that executed, we can move forward, we'll put out the RFP for the engineer, get that going. That's what I wanted from you guys, if you were comfortable with us bringing on GAS to do the administration. The downside is, even though it's a very large grant, there was no funds, it wasn't able to pay for administration. Sometimes you can get the 10% for the de minimis, now it's 15%. That was not part of this grant. It was only for engineering. So we would have to pay for administration out of county funds. Honestly, I think we could encumber the money out of my current budget, that we're gonna have extra this year, if you guys wanted to do that from economic development. Ultimately, it's up to you. It'll save us time and headache, but it does cost money, so.
What's that figure? You have a rough idea?
For their services, it said it would be, $150 per hour is what they charge, up to $36,000 for the entire project, and it would be multi-year. So that's where Garrett was figuring it would take him about 10 hours a month. That's where that 36,000 came from. Well, if you have any questions for me or for Garrett.
Would that go over that, Garrett, in any way?
No, the contract reads that the 36K, I guess it would be just the max. We figure 10 hours a month for 2 years, not to exceed 36,000.
For all work.
For all work, yeah, there would be no, if we were to get to an extension, there would be some reason why we would be doing extra work, we'd have to come before the commission for approval for that.
So that is the cap,
Yeah,
36,000.
definitely it's capped there.
Is this project, and maybe, is this all or none? We have to do
Yes, it's
all
a
of the
planning.
things in this project.
So it's a planning grant, the 2.645 is not for implementation, so we're not gonna build trails with this. We're gonna pay an engineering design firm to go out, identify the sites, market survey it, and give us also community engagement, and then come back and give us a real demonstrable, full engineering report and plan. Then we go back in and resubmit that to the Federal Highway Administration for the implementation part,
Right.
and then we'll build it.
So each community will have input into this.
That will be the engineer's
Yeah,
responsibility.
and that's where we did have originally, like I said, in 2021, we've already had a lot of community input, but my plan is we do need to go back and double check that with
And
each
revisit,
community.
yeah.
Yes, and make sure that that's still how they want their part of the trail designed. And then I'm also making sure with our federal project officers that we're still falling within the bounds of what we're allowed to do with the planning grant.
So even though we're talking engineering and everything, does that involve, getting easements?
Yes.
Is that this part of it, or is that a different phase?
Yeah, so what we'd be looking at, the key deliverables, we would be getting an advanced design plan. So I've been told in order to get implementation funding federally or even from the state, they're looking at 90% plans. They want to have those in place. Also, the engineers would be doing an environmental review, making sure we had all the environmental clearances to do the trails. They'd be looking at easements and right-of-way definition and what does that look like. They'd be helping us coordinate with the federal agencies and then providing construction-ready documents. So that was the...
So if this comes into existence, we still have to go out and barter for the ground to go on?
Yes, and that'll be part of the plan that we're creating is where would those easements be needed. So it's a big undertaking, but I think even out of this, if we didn't come up with an entire trail system in the next couple of years, but we get 3 trails out of it, or maybe there's a community that really wants to push forward or things like that, I think it could still be very good for the county. I don't think we should miss an opportunity. I mean, the great thing about this is it didn't require matching funds on our part. So we're getting the $2.645 million. We don't have to put in $1 million at this time.
Right.
Because it doesn't make any difference if say, one community doesn't want to do it. I mean, that doesn't kick us out by any means. I mean,
not in this part of
right,
the plan.
right.
We'll still have the plan created.
For that community.
And then for implementation, if we did only want to do part of it, we could look at that, or if we wanted to try to do something comprehensively, we can decide that later.
Sure.
But we wouldn't be penalized for that?
Not with this grant.
Okay.
But we would have to, they are asking that we fulfill the planning that we said in the grant application. So with this grant, we can't go back and now say, well, we only want to do planning for
Right.
one trail.
Right.
They are expecting all of
I mean, everybody will be involved, but at the end, then if one of those entities doesn't want to be involved, they don't have to be.
Correct.
So, but saying that, does that mean that the trail from New Strong to Burlington would have to be part of this plan?
So it was in the grant application. So as what I was told from our project officer is it would need to be part of the design.
Okay. Like for instance, there's a really nice trail out there between Strong City and Cottonwood Falls. Runs along the highway, utilizes an old bridge down there to get into Cottonwood Falls.
Mm-hmm.
My concern with this is this bridge and putting kids or pedestrians or whoever in a remote area on the west side of the river all the way coming out here. I didn't know you'd have yards to cross, if there'd be any other path. Is there any way this bridge could be put on the river bridge out here north of Burlington on the side of it? Utilize that?
I think in the plans there said something about a 260-foot bridge across the Neosho.
There is, but
Right.
that's down below the dam.
Right.
Way up high up there.
Right.
My question is there any way we could get this path where it would be along 75 highway rather than
Right,
a
and I think that's
remote
a
area?
conversation, once we bring in an engineering, decide who the engineering firm would be, I would expect them to at least have one, initial sit down with you guys and say, okay, what do we think and where do we want to
That's
go?
my concern with this.
That would be in the engineering plan, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's the way it would have to go. I mean,
Right,
that's
now,
part of.
if you change it later, you know, you would maybe have to pay for more, other design, but yeah.
Right,
But that'd
Yeah.
be part yet to come, would be
Right,
some possible changes in
Right.
this engineering.
yeah, but,
And maybe it's not feasible, I mean, there's houses up along there, I mean, maybe there's no way to accomplish that, but
right, but that's information we would be paying for
I'd
to
sure
get.
think it'd be, long-term deal would be a lot better if it's parallel to the highway and not remote, desolate area myself.
Yeah, definitely we can keep that into the conversation
Yeah,
and make sure that.
I'm not objecting to this, I
Yeah,
just want you,
but we do
just
wanna
some
make sure
thoughts to
whatever-
throw out there for some thought process for everybody, so, yeah.
Whatever we design is what we're gonna wanna try to
Say
move
there's a
forward
lot
with.
of other established trails throughout the state, and a lot of them remote areas, rural areas.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, that's, kind of the attraction to it too.
Of course, the one in Franklin County that runs into Anderson County, I mean, that's a pretty long trail there.
Right, because it's balancing safety with also kind of, we'd be looking at this for recreation and health for our community, but also possibly to bring in, people for cycling or hiking or things like
Right,
that.
it has its benefits from that side of it, that's just my concern.
So there's pros and cons on everything.
Right, it's a valid concern
Exactly,
though,
Mark, yeah.
definitely. So I don't know if you had any other questions on the, proposal.
I mean, we need somebody, I feel like we need somebody to care for it if we're gonna pursue it.
Yep.
I don't know if you guys need to make a
Do you
motion.
know, another trails and everything, who's done the maintenance on it? Washouts, making sure the chat stays on there. Do you know, Garrett, on any of that, other communities or counties?
It would be within the jurisdiction of either the county or the local jurisdictions, and so that will also be part of the operation and maintenance plan, that will have community engagement, engineers will put that in their plans. We'll have an O&M in there, we'll identify that, the maintenance responsibilities.
What about public safety on, are we gonna get to the point where we gotta patrol these walkways with law enforcement or EMS?
The one in Franklin County, that trail's not that way, I mean, it's,
Right.
people ride, walk, whatever, there's
I
no.
think unless it becomes a concern, like I know when we lived in Manhattan, we lived just a few blocks from a trail that went down by the river, and you know, I would go out there with my dog and I would run and do stuff. And obviously you have to be aware because they're not regularly visible from, you know, like you don't have, it's not like walking around your neighborhood, but I think occasionally law enforcement will go down there and just kind of check on certain parts of it, but it's an expectation when you're on it that you're kind of at your own risk as well, so that'd be part of the conversation.
This raises just to get the preliminary drawing started.
Yes, so that's the big thing is getting design plans, like you said, looking at easement right-of-ways, environmental reviews, and getting some construction-ready documents, so then if we want to go after more funding, we're ready.
You looking for a motion here on that? or-
I believe so. Okay.
So I'd ask for a motion to authorize and direct the chairman to sign the agreement for professional services for Coffee County, Kansas, dated November 17, 2025, in an amount of $150 per hour, not to exceed $36,000, to assist in administration of a Rebuilding American Infrastructure with Sustainability and Equity, which is a RAISE grant, from the United States Department of Transportation, Federal Highway Administration between,
I have to change that, governmental assistance services, right? It had Western Consultants.
We are Western Consultants doing business as governmental assistance services.
Okay, which way would you like it?
Western Consultants is just fine.
Okay, sorry.
that's okay. between Western Consultants and Coffee County, Kansas. Funds to come from the Economic Development Fund.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Been moved by McCurry, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, thank you guys.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Garrett.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll see you next Monday.
Thank you.
Okay.
We'll find this right there.
Okay. Ty Troxel Coons, 405 Neosho Street. Executive session, good morning.
Morning. I do have an offer from, we wanted to go,
Executive session. You think, guys, 10 minutes, or think that's enough, or
should be.
it's gonna be short-lived, or what do you think?
What's our county councilor say?
Well, so this is an offer. Ty is through a listing agreement as actually the county's agent, so it would be no different, and this is more for the World Wide Web, I guess, and for you guys. So if somebody was selling their own home, Ty in her capacity as the listing agent would want to have that communication with whoever it is, in this case it's as the seller, to discuss what the offer is and potential counter offer or whatnot. So it is a legal arrangement where I think you can go in under the attorney-client exception to discuss an offer, because Ty is contractually bound to represent the interests of the county. I think she can go in as well for those reasons, but it would be for the purposes of discussing the offer. At the end, depending on where things go, there is a public hearing at the beginning of December, depending on if it makes it that far. But initially, if there's going to be back and forth through the negotiation process, like it would any other real estate transaction, you go back and forth to the sunset sale. There were several executive sessions because there was a negotiation back and forth, and an initial offer, and then a counter, and then a counter from there. And all of that got disclosed publicly at the very end when an offer was accepted. But that's sort of the position you find yourself in right now. The unique part of this is because there is a listing agreement, because you're discussing an offer related to a legal transaction between the county and another person. I think it's something that can occur under the attorney-client. And typically, you would not have somebody from the outside be able to enter into executive session, but because she assigned an exclusive right to sell on behalf of the county, there's a legally binding partnership between Ty and the county. So you guys know this, but this is more for the public, and in case somebody wants to make a big issue of it. So, does that make sense?
How long do you think we might need? Do you think 10 minutes is adequate?
It's pretty cut and dry.
Okay. That gives some little time for a little discussion, and anyhow, though. So.
10 minutes?
Yeah. So, I'd ask for a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Trust Point Representative Ty Troxel Coons, and County Councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, to discuss an offer related to a legal contract with the county listing agent under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2.
Make a motion.
Been moved by Adams, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We will enter in at 11:14. Okay, so no action taken in the previous executive session.
And I might just help to maybe fill that in. There's no action being taken. This is an ongoing potential offer and negotiation regarding the sale of that property, and that will continue. It may result in additional action or comments being made today, but no guarantee. And just for the purposes of those watching on the outside, at the very end, everything will come to light, including the final sales price that's been negotiated between the buyer and the seller.
Guess we don't have anything else other than that, do we?
And it's been a long day. Could I have 10 more minutes?
We talked about that.
For the personnel.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Is that
Yes,
okay?
we did, I'm sorry.
Instead of pushing it to a different meeting.
Okay.
I promise I'll be.
No, it's okay. I recall that now. Is it under the same, for the same reason?
Yes, yeah, personnel review.
Okay. Yeah, just, if Angie needs to be here so she gets the minutes.
Mike, see if you can grab Angie real quick, tell her we need her for a motion.
We have an answer.
Or
Have an answer.
And then copies.
you have an answer?
Which one you want to know?
Ginny. Yeah, let's take care of Ginny and then,
Yeah. Shoot, how long do you think you need?
10 minutes.
Okay. Use this one up above here.
Yeah, the one I did before, calling down, pull it down now.
Move it down below.
Yeah.
Ask for a motion to enter into executive session to include each of the commissioners, Economic Development Director Jenny Tapman, and County Councilor Lee Louis II to discuss personnel matters, non-elected personnel related to job performance review under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-1419B1.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion?
How
All-
long is one?
For 10 minutes.
Okay.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. We'll go in at 11:29. Let's hustle back. Hopefully I'm not alone. No action taken in the previous executive session. Correct.
What we can do?
When do we do that? That's the question again.
Well, I think you would take action.
Okay, well, yeah, but does that mean action was taken in there?
No, we didn't take any action.
Okay, I thought your question that I
No, no, no,
said,
no.
no action taken in the previous executive
We
session.
So it would be action taken as a result of the
Okay.
executive session, no action.
Whether to take action this week or
Right,
next
that-
week.
that's my question, I don't know.
Okay with this week.
Pardon me?
Okay with this week, doing it
I'll
now.
make a motion, that we'll increase Jenny's, the economic director's salary increase for $5,000.
You mentioned that 6 months.
Yes, after a probational period of 6 months.
And I'll second that.
That works. She's past her 6 months.
Right, she's past her 6
Yeah,
months.
she's already surpassed, so,
Effective today?
yeah.
Effective today.
Okay, let's see, what is today's date?
17th.
I would, well, okay. Yeah, I guess that's fine, because
Will that work
the
okay?
new pay period starts the 16th, but she wouldn't have worked yesterday anyway, so that's fine.
That works all right.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. So we need to say effective.
Yeah, we'll do effective today. I just didn't want it split between a pay period of time, because then
Yeah.
they
Right.
have to do that, so.
Okay, I have a motion by Barker and seconded by McCurry to increase the Economic Development Director Jenny Tapman's salary an additional $5,000 effective Monday, November 17th, 2025. Do I have any further discussion?
Needs something in there due past her
Oh, yeah.
6-month probational.
6 month, right, probation.
After the 5,000 there or something? I don't know, however you want to word it.
Due to her 6-month evaluation.
And,
Okay, I'll just read it again. Barker moved to increase the Economic Development Director Jenny Tapman's salary an additional $5,000 due to the end of the 6 months probationary period effective Monday, November 17th, 2025, and McCurry has seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jenny.
Do we need to go back in?
Yeah. Okay.
How cut and dry is this one? 5 or 10?
5 cents.
Pardon?
5's fine.
5 is fine, you
Yeah.
think? Okay.
Five for fighting.
Okay, motion to enter into executive session for 5 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Trust Point Representative Ty Troxel Coons, and County Councilor Wade Booth II to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, to discuss an offer related to a legal contract with the county listing agent under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2.
I'll move.
I'll second.
McCurry's moved, Avondra seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll go in at 4:47.
11:44.
Oh, I'm sorry. 11:47.
And I had to sit there and think about that.
That's because it's not right. No action taken, correct, in the previous
No.
executive session?
No action taken
right now as a result of the previous executive session. However, as a byproduct of the last executive session, I believe there needs to be another executive session, maybe for, I'd suggest 5 minutes with myself and the board to
Okay.
discuss the legal advice regarding a potential offer for the 405 Neosho Street county property that's up for sale.
Okay. I'd ask for a motion to enter into executive session for 5 minutes to include each of the commissioners and county councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship, to discuss legal advice regarding a potential offer for 405 Neosho Street under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2.
So moved.
Barker's moved.
Second.
McCurry seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We will enter in at 11:56.
I'm gonna have.
No action taken in the previous executive session. How long? 10 minutes?
10 minutes. Need to go back to not the last executive session, but the previous executive session, and now again include Ty for additional legal advice regarding the legal discussion regarding an offer to purchase 405 Neosho and it's probably fine if it just says that for right now. And I don't need to rehash the
For 10 minutes.
And I'm not quite done here, let me get this.
Change it to 10, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so. Okay, I think I got it now.
Okay. Ask for a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners. Trust Point Representative Ty Troxel Coons and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss matters deemed privileged in an attorney-client relationship, to discuss legal advice regarding a potential offer for 405 Neosho Street under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2.
So moved. Second.
Hammond Ross moved, McCurry seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We'll enter at 12:05. It just kicked over to 4, so should make it.
I decided on October 27th. Not deliverable as addressed.
No action taken in the previous executive session.
well, wanting to take action as a result of the previous executive session. I guess that's the.
I think we are.
Okay.
I think we need to proceed.
So there has been an offer
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
purchase the building located at 405 Neosho Street. That's subject to the exclusive listing agreement with Trust Point. As a result of an initial offer and a counter, it's my understanding that there may be a motion to accept, for the board to accept a bid to purchase in the amount of, and this is where you pass the point of no return.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
$167,500. With approval of the chairman to sign the contract to purchase. Subject to a public hearing that's currently scheduled to occur on December 1st, is that right? December 1st, 2025 at 10 o'clock.
Public ed.
So I'm processing something in my head right now, sorry.
The same thing, or are we good to go here?
No, this.
Okay, we'll wait. Getting in water to cool the steam over there.
Well, there's a public hearing after signing the contract ahead of the public hearing.
I did put that is contingent on approval of public hearing in the other term.
It's in that contract.
It's on page 8.
I mean, that's the only thing that it's not. Typically, we don't have public that shows up to at least have an issue with these, but getting the cart before the horse and signing something without allowing the public to participate. But I think just knowing that if it's signed, and I understand the reason why signing this allows due diligence behind the scenes to see if there's any potential issues and that kind of thing, which is really the reason for going ahead.
Yes, this agreement is contingent upon final approval by the Coffee County Commission at the public hearing scheduled for December 1, 2025. So if something were to happen there where it wasn't approved, the fire to cancel and get our earnest money back.
Okay. Good to go.
Does that need to be in that motion contingent upon,
It's on page 8 of the contract.
but I'm talking,
Ours.
on our motion?
Subject to and contingent upon. Immediately after the
We are.
word subject
Right, you've got it in your, right.
And it's in your motion here too, that it's subject to the public hearing, so.
Subject to approval at the public hearing. And then that should be fine.
Okay. Okay. Thompson will make the motion to accept a bid to purchase 405 Neosho Street in the amount of $167,500 with approval of the chairman to sign the contract to purchase, subject to approval at the public hearing that is currently scheduled to occur on Monday, December 1st, 2025 at 10 a.m. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been seconded by Abendroth. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Todd.
Thanks, Todd.
Sean, what you, we need additions from the bottom to
Should we do one at a time?
Casey tell you anything? You're not just.
No, I bet she's happy.
Can't move some breath.
Good for her.
I gotta go finish.
Good, she got started.
Oh my God, she had to review this director or something.
Okay.
I got it. There's rain in the forecast. Yeah, it's like told Mark, I said, you want it to rain? I'll dig a hole. It happens.
Got him, got it out.
Yeah, that makes her happy.
See if I can get her concrete work done before it gets nasty, you know? Yeah.
Just right, Chairman.
I don't mind setting roof trusses when it's freezing rain out, it's enjoyable. Put a rope around my neck.
One more time.
What did you hear anything about our phase 2 start date? Nothing definitive.
It's nothing anyway.
I thought they wanted to.
I know. I don't think she's gonna run out of paper.
Well, round table, I guess, I'm thinking right. The rest of this is just me to sign.
Oh, no, this one. Did you get one of those?
I've got a few things. The first thing I just handed out, the circulated in reference to the street closure. This is the first sheet is, top sheet is the notice, and then immediately behind that are the two relevant statutes that deal with vacation of certain plat, street easements, or reservations, the petition, and hearing. And if you recall, because this was a platted subdivision, because it's in an unincorporated city located within the county, or incorporated city that has no governing body for 10 years, I think it's unincorporated, right?
Yeah. So that would, if it was incorporated, then the city would be dealing with this, or?
Then it would still have to go through a similar process, but you'd be required to provide notice to the city who could then object. That's not the case here. So what's unique about this process and a lot of the documents that are, have gone through and closed or vacated roads, you're required to get street viewers to go out and view and then make recommendations. Here, that process isn't required. The notice on a road is 2 times. You'll see in the statute, the first one, on the filing of the petition, Board of County Commissioners shall fix a time for hearing the petition and shall give notice of the hearing by publication in the official county paper. Such notice shall be published at least one time, at least 20 days prior to the date of the hearing. And then if the land is located within an area which is subject to the subdivision regulations of any city, notice of the hearing shall also be given to the governing body and planning commission of such city, which doesn't apply here. Immediately following that, the next statute talks about what happens at the hearing. At the hearing, if the Board of County Commissioners determine that notice has been given as required by this act, that the public will suffer no loss or inconvenience by such vacation, and that no private rights will be injured or endangered thereby, the board shall order that such vacation be made. And if the vacation is of a plat, that such land shall be listed for taxation and for the purposes as recommended, as though it had never been platted. It references that this could go through your planning and zoning board first, but it doesn't have to. It's an or, so it can start here. And they could ultimately make the recommendation, but you end up at the same place. And then, at the very end, the cost of the proceedings, including publication and recorded costs, shall be paid by the party or parties presenting the petition. So it's a different process than a road, and that's why it took a little longer to get it kind of put together right, because the road actually is a lot more lengthy and has a lot more layers to it. I don't know why it's different, but so ultimately this is the document that would be submitted to the paper. It's the notice of public hearing regarding petition filed to vacate, close a street within an unincorporated area of Coshing County pursuant to KSA 582613 etc. So just request, if you're okay with that, request motion to approve publication of this notice.
Sounds good.
And if it's published on Thursday, that's within 20 days as required by statute. Any questions? I'll need two executive sessions. One will take a little while, one will take maybe 10 minutes. The 10-minute, I'll need to get Deputy Sweet to be a part of that, and it will be specific to the executive session exception that deals with safety measures, that the safety measures will be in reference to this building, and to publicly disclose some of the subject matter that will be discussed will potentially create a, it deals with a safety concern regarding the building.
Okay.
That does not need to be discussed
Okay.
publicly right now.
So we can go ahead and go with this, do this notice of the road closing. I'd ask for a motion to approve the notice of public hearing regarding petition filed to vacate/close a street within an unincorporated area of Coffee County pursuant to KSA 58-2613.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Barker, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay.
Did you want to sign that?
Oh,
Oh, you don't have to, no, it's just you.
okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine.
You and Wade.
Oh, he's already signed it, never mind.
Either way.
I've got it here.
Oh, you've got his signed copy, okay. All right. So you wanna,
Let me make sure tweets are available.
he's gonna have executive session.
Available here.
Security officer, like tweet.
It will be available in 3 minutes.
He will be.
I just want to make sure it's still down there.
Yeah.
And is it attorney, no, not attorney client, what is it?
Security, let's see.
To the building.
Yep, I'm gonna tell you exactly. I forgot my
Terminology.
my sheet, so I want to make sure I'm referencing under subsection 12 that references,
Security measures.
yep, to discuss matters related to security measures, if the discussion of such matters at an open meeting would jeopardize such security measures that protect, it would be under 12C, a public body or agency, public building or facility, or the information system of a public body or agency. The public body or public building is this building, the Coffee County Courthouse, and having Deputy Mike Tweet as a part of that, he's head of security for the Coffee County Courthouse.
Okay. Ask for a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, Security Officer Mike Tweet, and County Councilor Wade Bowie II, to discuss matters related to security measures under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 754319B12D.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll enter in at 12:37, I guess.
Should have been 12.
So, no action in the previous executive session, correct?
No action as a result of the previous executive session.
Yeah, there's.
Okay, that'd be correct, yeah.
It's just-
Because we can't take action in
I've got an executive session that probably will be lengthy. You may want to go around the table. The last thing that I have outside of the executive session, the veto CID, I think I need to provide you kind of an update. there's been some, conversation ongoing behind the scenes. There's a revision to the original CIP. As you may or may not recall, some tangible improvements were required by the end of this calendar year, and there was an effort to, one, work with TA to provide funds so that they could make an improvement there, or have something put in place, an arrangement between the county and TA to get that done. And why TA's, the point of discussion is because the original rebate agreement was with TA, not that the other tenants within the CID district aren't going to be a part of the CID fund disbursement at some point in time. Make a long story short, my understanding is there's an agreement. That agreement has been signed off on by TA. We're waiting on TA to put together a document that shows what their expenses would be. That will be submitted to the county at the same time as the amended CID agreement, so both could be reviewed and then it needs your approval signed off on at the same time. And for all intents and purposes, the reason why that is important, why you need to know it now, is once that occurs, then that would satisfy the duty and obligation that something be put in place this calendar year, although the work would likely not occur until the weather permitting. But that is sort of the modification of why there would be an amendment to the agreement so that can be accomplished. So I'm hoping to have that, I was hoping by today, next week. Obviously, time is of the essence, and in the background, we've been trying to kind of shuffle the deck to make sure that the county was going to meet its duty and obligation regarding the CID. So I wanted to make sure you were aware, because it's sort of moving in the background, and you need to know what's going on with it. So outside of that, that's all I have other than an executive session.
Do round table or go do your executive session? What's everybody want to do?
Go through it real quick, and then you have your last executive session. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only roundtable over the weekend, I brought this is what happened in Osage County with law enforcement there. The 4 members of law enforcement and the civilian that were hurt, and that also involved shooting. That's close to home. I just want everybody to be aware that domestic incidents are some of the most dangerous incidents that law enforcement can respond to because of the volatility of what the unknown. And for those who are out protecting and serving, sometimes the people like to minimize, oh, it's not going to happen here. We're safe in a small town, small community. It can happen here just like it could anywhere else. And we have solid, highly qualified law enforcement here who are professional and do an outstanding job. I think this is just one of those sobering reminders that those that take the special group to want to run to danger to protect our freedoms, lives, and anything that goes with it. From that, from law enforcement to EMS to firefighters, they're always going to danger. I just wanted that to be out there. And some of those who were involved in the incident the other day, and I've worked with quality, solid members of law enforcement, I'd encourage you to go out and say thank you to those who protect and serve on a day-to-day basis.
Very true.
That's all I have.
I want to echo that too, because when I read through all that stuff this past week, it was just like, you would think something like that's never going to happen, but in today's times, it can happen anywhere, anything, and things are getting so short fused with people. Yeah, and I appreciate everything our law enforcement, first responders, and firefighters in this county do. They are well trained and well qualified for it. After saying all of that, we've got some things that are going to be coming up with the zoning board. We need to fill a seat on it. I think it's kind of important that we get that done so they don't have to back up and redo some of this stuff. And I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Doug Burke to the zoning board this time.
Okay, got a motion to appoint Doug Burke to the zoning board. Do I have a second? I'll second that. Been seconded by Abendroth. Any further discussion?
Do you need to
Anything
include
else
the
in
term?
that motion?
Do you need to include the term?
Probably not.
Well, this is to fill an expired term that.
Text changes. Yeah.
That expires April 30th, 2026.
Okay.
Expiring when?
April 30th, 2026.
Okay, got a motion.
Information.
Yeah, Barker's moved to appoint Doug Burke to the Planning and Zoning Board to fill an unexpired term expiring April 30th, 2026. Seconded by Abendroth. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And can we get somebody to contact him, because I know it's real short notice, but he really needs to be at that meeting Wednesday night.
Yep.
We're gonna go over some stuff.
We can call him.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That'd be good.
Coma trading.
Yes,
which
that they all need to be a part of, and then their trainer doesn't have to do it again in a while.
Anything else, Bud?
That's all I've got.
Okay, okay. Mark, do you have anything?
Nothing other than I'll just echo what Todd and Wade said about the law enforcement.
Oh, exactly.
So I think most probably all feel that way.
Yeah, that goes for all of us, I believe, and we're so fortunate to have the level of emergency response that we have in our county here. We're, in my opinion, truly blessed. So, Mike?
Nope.
Nope. I think I'm good. You got notifications for us, young lady?
Angie wanted me to remind everyone that the employee Thanksgiving dinner is Thursday from 11:30 to 1. And she said if any of you want to help cut pies, that you could be there at 10. And there is always a need to help clean up afterwards.
What'd you say, come eat pies?
That's exactly what I said. Be there at 10 to eat some pies.
Okay, that will apply you want.
Yep. You just might have to cut them as well.
Never done that before.
Other than that, she does not have anything.
Okay, we've still got your executive session, right, sir?
Yes. This Thursday?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
4-H building.
yes, for each building.
Pie cutting contest.
The pie eating contest.
So, how much time?
Let's start with 20.
Start? Hey.
Wow.
We may or may not be done.
We may or may not. Okay. I should have not said it that way. 20 minutes. 20 minutes should be
We don't
plenty.
have a big strategic day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attorney-client, this will be legal advice regarding a subordinate board.
Okay. Make give us a couple of extra, 3 extra restroom minutes. How about that?
That's nice.
So we can give us maybe 5 to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Move to enter into executive session for 20 minutes to include each of the commissioners and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship related to legal advice regarding a subordinate board under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Moved by McCurry, seconded by Peterson. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I guess we'll go in at, 10, let's just make it 105. No, that's not it. Yeah, 105. Yeah.
They're sitting either.
No action taken due to the previous executive session. So,
We need to continue the previous executive session, same people, same basis for 10 more minutes.
do I need to read this again then?
Probably wouldn't hurt, just so that.
Okay. Okay. I'll make a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the county commissioners and County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship related to legal advice regarding a subordinate board under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
McCurry seconded.
20 degrees.
You wanted 10, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We will enter in at 1:28.
You're good because you just.
4 minutes.
Sure.
You want 10?
Yeah, let's,
Just we'll do 10.
let's do it.
10 minutes and.
No action taken because of the previous executive session. Ask for a motion to enter into executive session for 10 minutes to include each of the commissioners, County Councilor Wade Bowie II to discuss matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship related to legal advice regarding a subordinate board under the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B2.
So moved.
Moved by Barker, seconded by McCurry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We'll go in at 1:40.
Okay.
Well, no action taken because of the previous executive session. Is that the correct way to say that? Working on that. Been here almost a year, I don't learn now. So, we had our round table done, did we not?
Yes, she does.
Did you were done, weren't you, Wade?
Yep, that was it.
Okay.
Boy.
Well, I've just got a bunch of these longevity checks yet to sign, but we don't need to stay open for that, do we?
Yeah, you're the only one signing, right?
Yeah.
You sign your printing.
Okay.
Good luck with that.
It's down to a line.
Yeah. Well, I guess everybody's agreement, we'll adjourn at 1:51. Thank you, everyone.